Okay, so welcome to L4GTV, and my name's Chris Ogle, and this is a special show. It's all about Periscope, which is a bit of a new phenomena. It's been on the horizon for a while for Link for Growth, but we've never actually pursued it until the right person came along, and we'll get you introduced to those people shortly. But that all happened at the Link for Growth conference earlier in January. So I'm just going to ask Steve, and Steve's joining us from Canada. So if you want to say hi, Steve.
Howdy, everybody. So the big shooter in the room is that guy in the green shirt. He's the big shooter in the room. He's a Periscope influencer. So he's too humble to say, but he's the 60th largest broadcaster in the entire world. He has almost 70,000 followers on his account. So I'm just a humble commenter on the in the Periscope world. But yes. So
tell us where you're talking to us from, Steve.
Well, I kind of overlapped. I'm at this kind of awards thing where I think a whole lot of people get an award, but this is where I'm, and this is what I found out. I'm woefully underdressed because people are here in like suits and shit, but I showed up woefully underdressed. So it's related to my primary business, nothing related to Periscope. Although we have an account for Periscope for my business, but the problem with Periscope is, or it's a plus for businesses that are like huge or can work in outside their core area, but mine is just local. It just works in my own geographical area because they need to get to the houses. So, but Periscope, what the cool thing about it is, and I did a scope this morning. It was all about a fitness challenge. Basically, whoever's going to like lose a bunch of weight. So people were coming in they're coming in from Saudi Arabia. People are tuning in from everywhere, just because it's like global and everybody wants to kind of add their 2 cents into it. So Periscope is just amazing. I mean, I pulled over on the side of the road. This was 20 minutes ago. I pulled up on the side of the road. I'm in front of the Golden Arches. I turned Start Broadcast on, and it was crazy. It was like hundreds of people showed up just to see me talk about eating too much McDonald's.
Good stuff. Well, we'll come back to you in a second. Let's just get Sam on. Sam, you're the big hitter, man. So tell us about it.
Boom, boom, Steve. No, Steve's the guy. Well, my name's Samuel Bennet. I am the founder of Extreme Inc. And I came across Steve Gadsby, who's in Canada, we're in the UK, purely through Periscope. Without Periscope, we wouldn't have even connected. I have something totally really unrelated to the business side of what happens, but the same concept with Periscope exists throughout everywhere. It's about connecting people. And on the Link for Growth website, I noticed it said somebody has a problem and you have the solution, but you're not connected. And this is why I want to come into this with Link for Growth, and I wanted Steve to come in and see how we can work this out, is because I believe that everybody should have the opportunity to find a solution, and everybody should have the opportunity in offering that solution to somebody in need of it. So yeah, that's my mission.
Like something cool that sort of naturally, organically got created at a Periscope is like I started kind of doing this, after I was on there. Like I was on there since like August. The app's only been around since May of last year. So, for like say, 3 months, it was on, and then I popped on. So, even being on for like 4 or 5 months, you're kind of an early adopter of the app. So I started feeling comfortable with it, and then I started to naturally, I wanted to like share more and sort of open up and start telling my own story. And as I was doing that, it feels really good, right? So like you start to kind of share stuff, maybe experience you've had or stuff that you've been through, and other people resonate with, and they go, and they want to tell their story. And that sort of naturally evolved into something that we formed called ScopersUnite. And Sam's a really important part of that. And there's kind of just a big old group. There's 500 and something of us in the group now. And the core purpose of it is for all of us to basically share our story. And as we all open up and share our story, it encourages more people to open up and share their story, and we all feel better. It feels amazing to do it, and that's sort of the core purpose behind it. So I've never seen anything better for building community than Periscope. It's fantastic.
So yeah, I mean, I met Sam at the Link for Growth conference, and that was the first one we ever had, which was about bringing people together who had actually met each other online maybe for 2 years and never actually physically met each other, and it was just an awesome experience. And Sam was there, and he came rushing up and said, you know, this is all about connection, it's all about community, which is exactly what Link for Growth is about. It's about globally rebuilding communities. And yeah, I've not even, well, I've dabbled a couple of times in Periscope just to get the idea of the application, because I felt like it was an important technological development. But we were waiting for the right person who is passionate about Periscope to join the two dots together and say, do you know what, I want to do this, I want to see this take off, and I want to work out a concept where these two things can come together and we can make massive effect with those two things. So I feel like we've kind of got the right people in the room to enable that to take place, because this is going to be life-changing for many people.
I think so big time. I think so. I 100% agree with what you're saying, for sure.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that as well.
So I know, Steve, that you're pretty pressed for time. Do you want to tell us a little bit about ScopersUnite, how it works, about this train concept, and about...
Yeah, well, first of all, Chris, if you want to try it, we got one running this weekend. We actually, at first it started off pretty simple. You know, I was thinking, can we get 10 of us together to all share our story in a row? And then it kind of grew, and then it grew again, and then we thought, what's the best way to grow this thing? So everybody comes on every Saturday, or anybody who wants to come on, for a 5-minute scope, you know, a 5-minute live broadcast. And basically you just sort of tell your story, tell something that you've been through, or you know, we also have like musicians and performers and stuff come on. Basically it's just a big group of us, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. And then we started chopping it up by region. So there's actually a Euro train, we'll call it, and there's a USA train. Now there's an Australian train, and all the trains kind of run at different times and back to back. So the best way to experience it is just to join the train. So go to ScopersUnite.org, or find our Facebook group, ScopersUnite, all one word, and basically just join the train and share your story, share something you've been through. And you can't do it all at once. You know, sometimes people come on 4 or 5 weeks in a row, and the first week they'll say something small. They'll say something like, you know, this is something I've been, you know, here's a challenge I said in the past, but you know they want to say something more. The next week they come on and they sort of open up more, and the next week they come on, they go, no, you know what, guys, here's really what I'm going through. And then, but the cool thing is, as they open up and share, they get piles of support. They get endless mountains of support and love from everybody else, because that's what the train's all about. So, but anybody here or yourself, Chris, if you want to join and jump on and try the train, it's a fantastic feeling. So, yeah, that's the essence of ScopersUnite. So.
I'd have to just add in there that I just recently, this Saturday, jumped on the ScopersUnite train. I'm an ambassador of ScopersUnite. I believe in everything that it does and the concept. So I've been pushed by Steve to say, hey Sam, man, like, you know, you've got a story to tell.
I don't want to push too hard, but Sam did an unbelievable job. Sam's got a tough story. Sam's been through some serious stuff in his upbringing, and he really blew the doors off it. So.
Thank you, Steve, man. Thank you. Do you know what I wanted to say about it was, after I really got emotional and I really let it out, and I've not been like that in years. I've not even got that emotional about anything. I used to get that emotional about things, but you learn to lock them away, you know, seal that can up and put it in the cupboard.
And that's the thing.
Behind the soup cans that you never use. You know, it's just hidden. But what that does is you're carrying those soup cans around with you, and it's a weight.
Yeah.
And whether you acknowledge it or face it or decide I'm going to clean my cupboard out or not, you know, those soup cans are always going to be there. And I shared one element of my fear when I was growing up, and I got a can out of my cupboard. You know, I had a little bit of a release, and it's made me super excited to share my story fully and clear my cupboard up and have a clean canvas to start again.
Yeah.
And be freed. You know, and by doing this, the even better knock-on effect is that by doing this, I've inspired other people to open up that cupboard to dig out those cans behind the soup, and to actually just free themselves. And that's the knock-on effect, and that's how one person starts with opening up and just sharing a part of themselves that they might not even want to share with themselves. They feel like they're having a fight with themselves about it, but that then inspires other people to do the same thing. And so it all starts with us. It all starts with just making it happen. And I think this is the start of Link for Growth, getting on Periscope. The community you've already got within Link for Growth. We had, what is it, 100 people at the conference, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had 100 people. That's 100 people we can now connect online. And the best thing that Mr. Gadsby can vouch for this is the online relationships and connections you have. They turn into real life relationships.
Oh, don't ever doubt it. These connections are 100,000,000% real. It looks like they're kind of starting stuff in here, but my suggestion is talk to Sam about his influencer role, because that's a pretty rare role. He has more followers than the McDonald's Corporation or Zach Braff or a whole hell of a lot of celebrities. So he has a unique perspective, not his personal account, but he has a corporate account that he does, and he's just blown it out the water. So, you know, ask him about that. It's something special. And anyways, I gotta go, but thank you very much, Chris, for having me on. And Sam, I'll chat with you again in a couple of days.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on, Steve, and I'm sure this won't be the last time we talk.
Thanks, mate. Jump on the train anytime.
I'll do it this weekend. Watch it.
Awesome.
Yes. Take care. See ya.
Take care, mate.
So Sam, just some to sort of give people a little bit more of an idea, because you know I have an idea of Periscope. There'll be people that will end up watching this show who won't really know what the tool allows you to do. So I just want to spend just a couple of minutes really just explaining what the platform of Periscope actually does, because some people out there won't even have this installed on their phone. They won't know what it is. What we'll be talking about here is just they'll have no concept of it. So if you just spend a couple of minutes to tell us about the platform itself.
Well, do you know what I've just thought is, why don't I show you?
Okay. Well, it's not that clear because
right. It's just a big light. Okay, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
So Periscope was created. I can't pronounce their names. It's one with lots of Z's and X's in. But it's created by two people in 2014. They had the idea, they developed it, and then they got the backing 4 months later to push it and got a £1.5 million investment. Now, before it was actually launched, Twitter noticed this and brought it. Then Meerkat, which is another app, which is a live broadcasting app, was out. Twitter blocked them from using Twitter because Twitter had brought this new controversial app that's going against them, so they blocked them. And it's probably the best thing they could have done, because what that did is open it up to the whole Twitter community. Periscope is a live broadcasting interactive app. You can do it from your 4G, your 5G, you can do it from your wireless connection at home. It's something we've never had. It's that we've always had, okay, well, not always, but in our days, we've had a telephone we could pick up and connect with somebody if they answer. We can now do conference calls and connect with people. But this requires bookings and arranging. Periscope's about now. Like right now, I'm seeing this amazing thing right in front of me. I want other people to experience this. I can press one button and press start broadcast, and I am now live streaming that, not only on the app Periscope, but also live on Twitter. So people can scroll through the feed and see this on Twitter. It's taken the world by storm, because it's that, again, as humans, we like to connect. The majority of us like to connect with other human beings. So this is really giving you the opportunity in the platform to, on the devices you already have in your pockets, to pick it out and connect with somebody. I actually started my own account 4 months ago, and I only broadcasted from it a month ago, because there's something very nerve-wracking about pressing start and broadcast. There was a campaign called Start Broadcast, because people would just, it's that anxiety of, when I press start broadcast, I'm like on TV, I'm like exposing myself now. And that isn't even you showing the inner you, that's just you showing your shell, what's around you, and just being kind of really blasé about stuff. But once you start doing that and you see people go, oh, you know, oh, I'm at San Francisco Bridge, let's have a look at this, everybody. And oh, wow, I've always wanted to see San Francisco Bridge. Thank you so much for sharing with me. I'm going to screenshot it. And then they go, you know, and invite some other people, and they come in and they're like, oh, wow, love San Francisco Bridge, reminded me of going there at this time. And you actually have, from you standing there on your own, looking at San Francisco Bridge, you're now standing there with, you know, it could be 10, it could be thousands of people all experiencing that with you and interacting with you in real time.
Just one question on that, because people have asked me this question many, many times, and it's just be interesting to hear your take on it. So the people that can see the stream that you're basically sharing are people who are connected with you on Twitter, presumably. So what happens to them? Do they get some kind of message that tells them that you're now broadcasting?
Yeah, they get, you can have, just like any app, you can have push notifications on your phone, so it will ping from the top or however you have it on your phone and say, and it makes a really unique, like really, they've done it so it's something that makes you go, what was that, you know? And every time, still months and months and months down the line, it still makes me go, oh, I've got to get that. That's a Periscope broadcast. So people get notified, but also the great thing is they have something called the map of the world. And what you can do is, if you decide to put your location on, then that will pop up as a red dot on your location on the globe, and you could scroll around the globe and zoom in and find who's live. And what it actually does is it saves the replay of every broadcast for 24 hours only. So after 24 hours, it's gone. So it's about these quick snippets of interaction, these quick glimpses into other things that are happening. Can
you at the point of starting this on, and I know the apps are slightly different on like Samsung, on Android, and on iOS, but is there a way of capturing that stream so that it sort of you can download it onto your own device?
Yeah, well, actually on the app, as long as you have storage on your phone or your iPad or your whatever it is that you're using, you can actually just click a save to camera reel. So what it will do is it will automatically save the broadcast. Now, what this does is it only saves the actual video. It doesn't save the comments that will be pinging along the top of your video. And there's a thing called hearts. So it's a way of knowing that people like and you're receiving love. It's just so kind of cheesy. It works, right? So we could be doing this now. And on the side of the screen, you know, we've got hearts pinging up, all different colors for different people, and comments flinging up. It's beautiful. But in terms of saving it, this is the only thing we're waiting for. You can only save that video without the interaction. A lot of people that have, say, a Mac, you can actually go onto QuickTime, plug your phone into it, and record broadcast. You can play it and screen record it on your Mac. At the moment, as far as my knowledge is, nobody's come out with anything else. There's another thing called Catch, which you can do, and when you sign into it, it will capture your video and how many people have come onto it. You can see how many people shared it and interacted with it. So there's a way of actually looking at the data and thinking, hey, how many people did I connect with this time? And what's the demographic of those people? Oh, there's somebody that's actually local to me. I'm going to make sure I'm following them so that when they jump on a broadcast, I can support them back. And then what that happens is, oh, I'm looking to build a website. Hey, I'm a web developer. Awesome. Let's go for coffee. And that has now just turned into a real world connection. And that's the power of Periscope, because then you'll both go away and probably do a broadcast about the meetings and support each other again, you know, and the chain goes on. It's crazy. But in terms of, I can run away with Periscope forever and go all off the path and everywhere. So bear with me. But in terms of your question, you can save it. You can't save the full interaction, but there are ways of doing it if you have a Mac.
So for some people, this might be quite difficult to conceive. But so people can comment while you're presenting or while you're talking, and that presumably appears on the side of the screen. And can you reply? Can you? And presumably you just talk back because obviously they're typing.
Yeah, but the good thing about it is other people then can just click that comment, hit reply, and reply to them. So what you actually end up getting when you've got a good community like Link for Growth, you'll be talking about something and someone will come in and because they've been invited by Jerry, and they're like, hey Jerry, like, where were you for the cricket? you know, and then they start getting into what you're talking about. But it's a platform for other people to communicate as well within what you're doing, you know. So you're interacting with people are going, oh, that was a great question, oh, I've always wanted to know that, and oh, thanks for answering that question, Chris, that was a brilliant answer, you know. And so you've got people connecting not just with you and you connecting with them, they're all integrating and connecting with each other. So it's a community.
And so they'd be answering each other's questions on your feed, basically.
They do, yeah, they do that, yeah, and that's brilliant. You know, a lot of the time, once you've been doing this for a while, like I know some big scopers out there that have been doing it since the app came out, and they've, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers, and they always say that once you start getting a following, they all will start answering questions for you that are very repetitive. If it's something that new people are coming in all the time, right? People might just see you on Twitter and click on it and go through to your broadcast, and loads of people might just see it randomly on the map. So you can have loads of random people coming in at all times, but also you're going to have those regulars, and those regulars will start to answer those questions because you're giving them new content they haven't had. They've taken value from that and absorbed it, and so they start answering the questions for you, so you can keep going on. It's brilliant.
So another question, I've seen other people promote somebody else's broadcast. How do they do that?
So what they do is you can actually share each other's broadcasts. So when it's a live broadcast, you can swipe along on iPhone or swipe up on Android, and what it would do is it will give you a share button, and you click share, and then you can share with all of your followers on Periscope. You can select, and you can select individual people on Periscope who you think it will go to. You can share it out on Twitter straight away, and if you've got a couple of Twitter accounts like Link for Growth does, you can change which one you're doing it on by just pressing share and changing the Twitter account, and you can also share on Facebook.
So there's a question here for you that's been puzzling me. So we've got a number of different accounts for all sorts of things. So I've got 2 or 3 accounts I manage, plus there's the main Link for Growth account that I have access to as well. So can I set up a Periscope for each of those Twitter accounts, or do I, when I go into Periscope, pick an account? What's the process there?
Well, you would either set up a Periscope for each one. So each thing has and then you've got the main Link for Growth, then you've got the Link for Growth Biz and Link for Growth TV, or you've got, you know, different areas. Like eventually when it starts getting bigger, it'll probably start just as a national thing, and then when you start getting clusters of people, you'll turn that into that regional and things like that. So sorry, I can't remember where I was going with that.
Yeah, the question was about different accounts, really. So what happened the other day was I was logged out. I logged out of Periscope as me. Yeah. And I went back into Periscope, and they said, well, who do you want to be?
Who are you today?
So I said, well, I want to be Link for Growth right now. So I then went into Periscope, I assume, as Link for Growth. So if I started a broadcast, I would be broadcasting as Link for Growth.
So if you have different Twitter accounts, you can automatically, so the sign up process for Periscope is very easy. If you have a Twitter account, you literally sign in via your Twitter account. If you have multiple Twitter accounts, as long as you're logged into those on your phone, it will have you logged in on your Periscope. So you can go on and switch between different Link for Growth things. People within Link for Growth can go on and switch between them. And if one's relevant to a certain area, you can make sure you select that to share it out to on Twitter. But you couldn't have one big page that kind of has the ratings and following of the combined. You know, you would have just one account per username on Twitter.
Yeah. But
you can have the one big account that's the main thing that kind of mothers it all. But then they're not formally connected. It's just the fact that you've got them connected on your phone. Like I can sign into other people's around the world that are giving me access because I've got their Twitter. So when I look after their Twitter, I could just go on and select their account and do a broadcast on their behalf. I don't, but I can, you know. So that is simply that easy.
Okay, so then we've got Link for Skills, Link for Business, and these, and multiple people could have access to those. and therefore we can sort of delegate responsibility. It's just in terms of structure, Link for Growth is about devolved responsibility. So it's how we can deploy that in the infrastructure that Periscope supplies to us. But yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, as we were, well, as Steve was talking earlier, and this concept of scheduling and actually people booking a 5-minute slot, I really like that, because once you publicize the list, of course, people can say, well, oh, I really want to listen to that person, or I really want to listen to that person, or I wonder what he's got to say today. And I think that's going to be something that can be really amazing for Link for Growth.
Oh, it's huge. Like it's amazing for the people. It's not just amazing for Link for Growth as a community. It's amazing for the people within the community. You might think you know somebody because you've had an online relationship with them for 2 years. You know, then you meet them at one conference and you get to shake hands and talk about the structure of the conference and how awesome Link for Growth is and what each other does and their vision, but you don't know who they are. You know, what happened over the last 30 years of your life to get you to this place where you're making these decisions and got you here. You know, and that's when you start really learning about the people in your community, and that's when you really can make a difference. Because how do you make a difference when you're basing everything on your own opinions and your own vision and your own judgment and your own life experiences, until you actually take yourself away from yourself for a minute and absorb somebody else's life experiences? You can't truly understand what it is that people need.
Yeah, you know? I mean, one of the, well, I mean, you listened to Emma, didn't you? Emma talking and at the conference, and you know, she shared some pretty intense stuff there. But actually, within Link for Growth, actually, there are a good number of us who do know, if you like, the back catalogue. and actually, that's really important, because once you really understand an individual, right, you know, good bits, bad bits, you know what they've been through, there's a huge amount of respect and an understanding for those people. And I think one of the big strengths of what we've got going on in Link for Growth is that there's a lot of that going on already. But what I think Periscope can do is it can reach out far more quickly and far wider, because we're talking about people in Link for Growth, but we need 8 million people in Link for Growth by the end of 2018. Yeah. And to reach out to those people and to get to those people, we've got to go way beyond the current boundaries of Link for Growth. And I can see Periscope has been incredibly instrumental in that.
Oh, definitely. Well, you've created a community, right, that have adopted your ethics that you believe is right, which is a joint feeling across the globe. But it took someone like you to actually go, okay, I'm going to action this. You know, it's not a business model. You know, it's not. If you look at it as a business model, you know, like you said, people look at you and think you're bonkers. But that's why this hasn't been done before. And the way that Link for Growth is going to benefit by Periscope is Periscope's got the connection to the world. You've got the message. Mm. The community within your message is an umbrella around the community, and everyone in there have got their own umbrellas over them. And so we can spread the message as a community, and we can now start allowing these people to come out from under their umbrellas and start sharing their messages with the person that's next to them, with people on the other side of the world. And that's the key, that's the link, that's the technology that we have and we need to utilize.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fascinating talking to you, and you know, I'm hoping that, because what I've done is I've kept this a bit low key tonight, because I wanted to make sure that we could all connect. Because that's always, yeah, technology can always slap you in the face at the last minute. Yeah. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing this half hour or so, how long we've had, with the rest of the Link for Growth community, like tonight, and I'll be sharing it out there again tomorrow. And I'll definitely book myself on for a slot on the Euro train on Saturday.
Yeah. Boom.
And maybe just talk. I mean, because this is the third. I won't give away too much now, but this is the third new product that I have kind of invented, And although Link for Growth is not a product, actually, I always felt I was here to do something of fairly big scale, but never came across the right thing. And yeah, people have started businesses and they don't work, and they start something else and it doesn't work. And actually, it can be very dispiriting at times. But you just got to have that persistence and that consistency and that belief in yourself that it's going to come. So you can't keep going and be that unlucky. You don't come across something.
Exactly.
So actually I might share that on Saturday and just sort of say to people, you just got to keep going. And what we've got going on right now is basically if I collect all the experiences in my whole life and put them together, I'm using every single one of them in what I'm doing in Link for Growth.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I think as well, I think you should try and touch on, rather the end message of you've got to stick at it, maybe tell them a story where it was your hardest point in your journey. And at the end, you can title it, you've got to stick at it. And then just say, because ScopersUnite, not about
broadcasting,
trying to motivate people, like there's so much of that out there and it's really good and positive stuff. And I use it myself on Periscope. I go on it for daily motivation from people that are more skilled and talented in areas that I'm not. But ScopersUnite about you sharing, not once you've got over that peak.
Oh yeah,
but when you're at the bottom looking up, and how you felt then, and the journey you were on to get to the top. And
there is a point in this story. There is a point where, there's many points, as you can imagine, because I think one of the key things is in whatever endeavor you've got going on, there are many situations where you can give up.
Oh, I mean, giving up and failure is just a synonymous, is it? How do you say it?
Yeah,
yeah, that's it. For quitting. Because if you never quit, you can never fail. And anybody that's succeeded, whether they know what, like yourself, like I've always known that I'm here to do something massive. I'm here to change the world for the better. I still don't know what that is. But I was just saying to my mum, right, just about 40 minutes before I came on here, I was having a cup of tea with her, and I was just saying to her, I still don't know how I'm going to change the world yet. I still don't know where this is taking me and what step this meeting with you now is on that road. But one thing I do know is I'm finally walking on that road. And that's the great thing again about Periscope, is that I felt like this I'm 30 now, probably since I was like 6, I've had this feeling that I've got something great to offer and I need to find out what that is. And it's for the benefit of others. And all of these years I've gone along with people saying, get your head out of the clouds, you live in a dream world. And, it's all of these things that before I started to believe, and that's when you fall, you fall off the wagon. But it's actually about going, I know that I've got something bigger, and I couldn't have confirmed. I haven't got on the path that I'm on now until Periscope, because I found other people that have felt exactly the same as me their whole life, and they still don't know what it is that they're meant to do. They don't know the end goal, but they know the first step.
There's quite a few who I've met in Link for Growth who, and they kind of borrow your belief in them until they get their own. But there are lots of people out there who have a real purpose. And the sad point is that historically, most of those have gone to their grave without ever realizing what it was. And that's a loss.
Yeah, that is a loss. That's a loss. And that's what we are here to change.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, thanks, Sam, for coming on and being part of this. It's been really good fun, apart from anything else.
I mean, I'd like to say, if you're going to be showing this, I'd like to say hello to everyone from Link for Growth, everyone that I met at the conference. Absolute pleasure to have met you all. I will be contacting a few of you still. I've still got your cards. So wait to hear from me. And you guys need anything from Periscope, any questions you have, fire them over to Chris. We'll both go through them together, and I'll make sure that you get the answers that you need, because we'll connect our solution with your problem.
What I'm going to do actually is also set up a Link for Growth Scopers community on Facebook and kind of mimic what's going on with Scopers United. And then we were talking about a platform that we could put together which allows people to book and like a scheduler and stuff. So I want to instigate that. I've got people who can rattle that off if your connection that you were talking about is not in a position to sort of help us on that. But I do want to get that going, because actually there's nothing to hold us back. Just got to get out there and start doing it.
That's it. Exactly. I mean, there's web developers within the Link for Growth community. So it's just a case of, even if they share it out and do their hour a week, and we get it up in a week, then cool. You know, it's a simple, basic website with a scheduling program and automatic emails that send out to people to say, this is who's up before you, this is when your slot is, and can you please confirm? And, you know, that's it, we're away. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, Chris. It's going to be a big imprint into something we don't know where that imprint's going, but it's going to be something good, and that's all that can ever come from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there are people out there that are interested in Periscope, don't know what the hell it is, don't know how to use it, but are keen to. Yeah, Link for Growth is all about driving people forward, and you know, you can't stand still. You've got to develop. You've got to use technology. You can't rest on your laurels. You have to keep pushing forward, because you know, we've got 8 million people to find by the end of 2018, and we ain't going to do that if we don't use technology.
Yeah, exactly. Technology is the only way to connect the world. You know, if you could give me one other way of connecting with somebody on a different plate than us, in a different part of the globe, please let me know. But there isn't, and that's the fact of it. And the longer we oh, well, I prefer it like this because that's my comfort zone. Nothing ever good comes from comfort zones. Anything great that's been achieved has come from stepping outside your comfort zone. Absolutely right. Yeah, the only place you grow is in a place where you're uncomfortable. Exactly. Like even when I have chats on the phone to people, I get a little bit uncomfortable, like anxiously excited. I'm nervous because I care, but I'm excited because I know it's great's going to come of it. And they're the butterflies. Somebody said on Periscope, Tom Black, he said, everybody gets butterflies. It's not about that. It's about learning to control the butterflies and allowing them to swim in fly in formation. And that's what it is. And you only learn by connecting with that and acting on it. And if you've got butterflies, 9.999 times out of 10, you're about to do something that's going to benefit either you or somebody else. Yeah, definitely. Right, okay, Sam. Been lovely talking to you. Let's wrap it up now. But that's a fantastic load of information you've imparted there. I think the guys and gals in Link for Growth are going to really enjoy what you've shared with us. Great to have Steve on as well, and hope he's got his award or whatever he was down there for. And we'll be back again, and definitely. And all those in Link for Growth, look out for the Link for Growth Scopers thing, because that's happening. It's happening, baby. So take care, Steve, and thanks, Sam, and thanks for coming on. And you take care. Yeah, take care. Everybody. Bye. Bye.